Hey guys, what is cracking? It's Krakenation here, coming at you guys with the next installment of our competitive analysis videos for Generation 9. Today we're going to be take a look at Quaquaval, I'm going to call it. Hope that is acceptable to all you guys. Quaquaval is the final evolution of Quaxly, and it is the water type final evolution for the Paldea region. Guys, we're really excited to be taking a look at this mon today, so let me know what mons you guys want to see next, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick look as well as into what makes it a viable Pokemon in competitive format, how you can use it in competitive play, how you can build around it to set your Quaquaval up to be the most success when you want to transition into competitive Pokemon, as well as some team options, some sets you could try, all that good stuff. So, getting right into it, guys, we're going to start by taking a look at its stat pool. First up, we have 85 HP and 80 defense, 75 special defense is pretty mediocre bulk, but this is an offensive Pokemon, and that 120 attack stat is definitely pretty rock solid. You're going to have a lot of success with that 120 attack stat. 85 speed is okay, not good by any stretch, but fortunately Quaquaval has ways of boosting up its speed that make it a lot better. So definitely going to be a Pokemon you want to keep your eyes out for in competitive play. Has definitely some offensive potential with 120 attack. Enough bulk to maybe get some setup options, and we'll talk about that a little later, and some speed that after a boost could definitely be threatening. It's got the water and fighting typing, which we've seen with a couple Pokemon in the past, I believe, things like Keldeo, which have been good in competitive play. The Torrent ability is not going to be that useful, but Moxie is going to be a really cool ability on an offensive Pokemon such as this when it has access to some setup options. So I think between that really good offensive typing of water fighting, obviously fighting is a really good offensive typing. Water is pretty good in its own right. We've seen, again, things like Keldeo be really successful offensively with this typing in the past. You're going to have a lot of success there, but then you have 120 attack and Moxie. That's overall a package that is going to make Quaquaval a successful Pokemon, I think, in competitive play. Taking a look at just the notable moves for this Pokemon, first of all, I want to mention its go-to, signature move, I should say, Aqua Step, which is an 80 base power physical water move. Already starting off on a pretty solid note there, right? But it has an 100% chance to boost your speed by 1 stage every time you use it. And that means Aqua Step will be your go-to move when you're using Quaquaval offensively. That's going to be an incredibly useful move on a lot of different Quaquaval sets. Choice Banded sets, Swords Dance sets, anything. Boosting up your speed so easily is going to make this thing an absolute menace. And then Moxie boosts up your attack while you're doing it. Just a really solid package. Also gets Aqua Jet for some priority. Close Combat's going to be your go-to stab move. You get Wave Crash if you want some more water power, a water type power. That Wave Crash is basically Flare Blitz with a high recoil but high base power water type attack. It's going to be another option. Liquidation, I don't know if you would ever run Liquidation over Aqua Step, but in case you lived in a world where the defense drop mattered to you or something, you could do that. Wave Crash is an option just because it does have so much more power, but I think Aqua Step will usually be your go-to move. Rapid Spin, making this thing a hazard clear, is awesome. Roost, really good to give this thing some survivability. I don't think it's going to be that useful on an average Quaquaval set, but there are definitely niche setup sets where you could run Roost alongside setup. Maybe like a Swords Dance Roost and Aqua Step set has some chance to heal up and then keep getting its attacks off, keep doing damage. Speaking of which, Swords Dance is going to be really good on this Pokemon, really making sure it has the offensive power, because 120 is good but not terrific. You do have some special moves, something like Hydro Pump or Hurricane. Both are quite good. You also have Surf as another kind of water type move if you wanted it. Its special attack set isn't terrible, but just kind of mediocre to slightly below average. So overall, you're going to want to use physical attacks more. U-turn is an awesome move, as we know, in competitive play, to attack and then get out of there. So U-turn is going to be really popular, especially if you're not running a setup focused Quaquaval and you're rather running an offensive, like a pivot kind of mon. Then U-turn is going to be very helpful. Brave Bird is going to be really good on this Pokemon as well, to allow you to hit those opposing grass types that otherwise may wall your water types Aqua Step moves. I might come in on Aqua Step. Brave Bird is going to be definitely a good move on this Pokemon that you're going to want to consider on a wide variety of sets, especially because grass types are very often pretty defensive. Going to be helpful. In the same vein, Hurricane, to hit those things on a special side, if that's kind of how you want to play it, is definitely an option. And then Ice Spinner gives you some ice coverage as well if you need it, which again helps you hit those grass types. Could be helpful as well, just in general. So looking at, the first set I want to suggest here, we're going to take a look at a physical Scarf set. You're going to run that Moxie ability just because that gives you that speed boost right off the bat. This set foregoes Aqua Step, but there are a lot of variants where you can switch this up and run a physical band, maybe replace Wave Crash for Aqua Step, and have the same success. On all these variants, you're probably going to want to run Moxie for sure, and then 252 attack, 252 speed, and Jolly Nature will allow you to be as offensively oriented as possible while making sure you outspeed as many things after boosts as you can. Close combat and U-turn on are no-brainers on any kind of set such as this. I'm running Wave Crash on this particular variant for extra power on a Scarf set, and then Brave Bird, like I said, to hit those grass types. But you know, I do want to mention that if you wanted to make this into a banded set, a choice banded Quaquaval could also be extremely viable, maybe even better than this set, honestly, depending on the team composition you're putting it into. And in that case, I would probably opt not to run Wave Crash, and I would run Aqua Step, because Aqua Step will allow you to boost your speed while you're clicking these powerful banded these powerful banded attacks. So you're boosting your speed up, you're already boosted with your attack, and then Moxie will further boost your attack. So, you know, that could be a very, very viable set as well. I think Physical Scarf could see some viability. And what's cool about Quaquaval is, like, you know, it's got some versatility there, it can run the U-turn as well. Taking a look at more of a setup-oriented set, I think this is another really, really good option. Life Orb or Leftovers, either way you want to run it for more power or for more longevity. We're definitely going to want to run that Moxie ability here again. And then because we're running Aqua Step, you know, eventually you might get to a point where you want to run Adamant Nature, because if you click 2 Aqua Steps, you're pretty much outspeeding everything anyways, right? Even a majority of Scarf users are going to be outsped. Fast Scarfers too. So you're going to want to run Adamant Nature in a lot of cases, but you have that choice. It's up to you. We'll run the Swords Dance and the Aqua Step to get that speed boost, get our powerful stab attack in. Close Combat to be our breaking move, our powerhouse hitter in a pinch. And then we have Brave Bird or Ice Spinner to be a move to hit those bulky grass types that may otherwise try to wall Quaquaval. I think this might be Quaquaval's best set. It's between this and maybe that choice banded set that I was discussing earlier could be a really viable set as well. Just with choice band plus Aqua Step being such a devastating combo with that Moxie ability. But I think this set has a lot of inherent strengths. It reminds me a lot, this Pokemon in general, of things like Heracross and Gyarados, where, you know, you set up and then you keep getting more stronger as you go on through the sweep, just as Moxie users go. But Aqua Step is such a powerful tool in a Pokemon like that I think this is going to be a really, really competitively viable set and starter in general. And I would dare say that Quaquaval probably the best of the 3 starters if you're looking at which one's going to be the most dangerous in competitive formats. Taking a look at just the overall big picture here, pros and cons, we've got good offensive stabs and good attack stat, great options within its offensive move pool. Like we talked about, it's got so many good moves, and Aqua Step is such a good move as a stab that also comes off that strong attack stat. And like we talked about again, effective setup moves between Moxie for its ability, but then also its move in Aqua Step, and then also it has Swords Dance. You just have so many effective setup options. I also want to add in here, I didn't have space, but it also does get some utility moves. So you could run like a U-turn, Roost, Rapid Spin, Aqua Step, or Close Combat set, and you've got some utility moves in your back pocket as well in a pinch if your team were to need maybe a really viable hazard clear or an offensively pressuring hazard clear that could also pivot. Quaquaval can fill that role, get some recovery while it can do it too. Now, con, it does have limiting bulk, which can mean it is hard to find setup opportunities, and we'll talk about that with team support a little bit more. Finally, it's got pretty mediocre speed, and its power as 120 is good. Not wall breaking though. It's like, you know, it's good for a sweeper to be setting up with, but it won't be, you know, busting any heads before it sets up, notably. So it's got pretty mediocre speed, so you need to really make sure that when you have your Quaquaval in, either you're running that Scarf or Band set or something, or you're finding good setup opportunities, because without those setup opportunities and without a lot of bulk to help get them, it may be hard to find great chances to do that. Finally, taking a look at some team options for Quaquaval, it's got some things that, you know, like any, I don't know why this keeps formatting so weirdly like this, but any really good sweeper like this will really appreciate having some screen support or some hazard setters, because screen supports, like we talked about, will give it the chance to set up in a Swords Dance, fire off an Aqua Step or two, take a reduced damage while it's doing it, give it more chances to do what it wants to do, get those Moxie boosts off the ground. Hazard setters in a really similar vein can give you some extra chip damage, so you got your Moxie boost rolling. Every kind of offensive sweeper that's as viable as Quaquaval could be is going to really appreciate hazard setting and screen setting. Finally, also those kinds of Pokemon also always appreciate decent wall breakers, just because if you are a Pokemon that's looking to sweep, a lot of times your the opposing team will bring out a wall to stop your sweep, right? So if you have a wall breaker that had already come out at some point earlier in the match and kind of softened that wall up, then you're going to be in a much better position when your Quaquaval comes to clean whatever is left standing at the end of the match. So as far as big threats, bulky physical walls like we talked about are going to be a big problem for it, especially opposing water types that are bulky. Something like I'm thinking, you know, I'm not sure exactly what's allowed and what's not, but I'm thinking in like a National Dex style format, opposing Milotics, for example, would be a really big problem. Suicune, just these really bulky physical walls that can recover off damage might be a problem for a Quaquaval. Finally, because its speed is a little middling, faster offensive mons, especially notably those with good priority, will tend to become a problem for Quaquaval. Now, there isn't a lot of priority that hits it super effective, which is nice. It's not weak to, like, you know, Bullet Punch or anything like that. It resists Sucker Punch, it resists Bullet Punch, which are two of the more common ones. But you really want to be careful about really powerful priority moves, which are going to get through your high boosted speed stat even after you've been clicking Aqua Step. And if you aren't set up yet, then you're really going to want to be careful, because 85 speed is really just not quite cutting it in an offensive metagame. Guys, I think Quaquaval is an awesome Pokemon, all things considered. I'm really excited to be trying this thing out in competitive play. I think it's going to be excellent, like genuinely quite excellent. And I think it's probably going to be the best of the starters. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to leave a like, comment, rate, subscribe, all of that good stuff, it is always very appreciated, guys. I appreciate every single one of my subs so much. This channel has come such a long way since I started years and years ago. And furthermore, if you guys want to join our Discord channel, we will be running a league pretty soon. Draft Classic, I believe 9 is coming up pretty soon, where we will be allowing a lot of these Generation 9 Pokemon in Draft League play. You can also go there to ask questions about competitive format. We've got a lot of great guys that are a lot of really active people that can give you feedback, and also you can get to talk to me about any competitive format questions you may have. We've got a really active and awesome community in there, so if you want to go ahead and join a competitive Pokemon Discord community, definitely go check it out in the description box below. If you like this video, want to let me know what you think about Quaquaval, let me know in the comment section down below. But I also want to know what Pokemon you guys want to see next, so definitely let me know down there. Until next time, though, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out.